privilege to be able to work for these, you know?
Yes, exactly. It's like...
When someone insults you, you want to just beat the shit out of them sometimes, but you don't.
Well, not quite what I was thinking, but...
Keeper Aquilus, can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's been too long. How are your parents? Your mother still struggling with that azalea garden?
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh. Well, what's on both your minds? Oh. Yeah. How humanity comes together. How we are to love each other even as our universe becomes even more complex.
That's not exactly what we mean. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps we should talk about this inside. Now that we have a little privacy, why don't you tell me exactly what it is that brought you two here?
They're like nothing we've ever seen, Keeper. Gravitational distortion, sub-audio harmonic sequencing, unidentifiable energy fluctuations.
I caught half of that. So, these things are unusual? Even in your experience? There have always been mysteries that seem to defy our understanding of the universe, beyond rational thought. We enter life as an act of someone else's faith in us. There's no way of knowing who we will become, and yet the risk is made anyway. So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing where it would take you. And it's brought you here. I think I can. If you're willing to find your way in the dark for a bit longer, I can give you a path to discovering its meaning. There's an old story, far older than the Sanctum Universum, of someone who walked the settled systems and saw every corner of it. This pilgrim claimed he found the true meaning of unity. I always thought of it as just a parable for trying to bring humanity together, but maybe it's more. In my story, the pilgrim met the founders of the House of Enlightenment and the enigmatic cult of the Varun. And he gave them each a part of the truth. Then he goes to his final resting place to live out the rest of his days in contemplation of infinitum addendum, his addition or contribution to the infinite. But what if the story isn't a metaphor, but a code? A way of finding the pilgrim again, or at least his grave. Yes, Something must be there. I just can't put my finger on it. Maybe the answer will become clear when we have more. The House of Enlightenment and Varun have versions of this story. The Enlightened work out of the well here in New Atlantis, helping the poorest citizens find a better life for themselves. Varun worshippers are more enigmatic, but there is a lone zealot that was captured recently for attacking UC ships. I visited her a couple of times. Hopefully, she'll be willing to talk to you as well.
I'll stay here with the Keeper. We need to catch up. And I wouldn't mind asking him a few more questions.
They drive a pretty hard bargain for new recruits. I certainly couldn't say no.
Yes? What?
Back in the lab. Quiet, safe, secure. Just how I like it.
Excuse me? There are so many different groups across the settled systems, it's hard to keep up with all the work they're doing.
for you.
We're hiring if you're interested. Ask in the security office.
Welcome to the House of Enlightenment. If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing everything we can. Oh, you're not? Sorry. Can I help you?
The Unity Pilgrim in particular, if that rings any bells.
Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a Unity Pilgrim. But since you both insist, our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilus is describing. A man walks into the first House of Enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of two what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of two that. Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see anything like it again. Besides what the Keeper would say about it, sounds like a gathering point, or a center. Or, in mathematics, it would mean one, like the one, the first at the beginning. Sorry, I couldn't be of more help, but that's about all I've got. Hope you find what you're looking for.
Got some news for you. My partner and I,
Every time I see that statue, I feel it. Can't really explain why, but I do.
You don't need to wear your helmet in here. You know that, right?
A visitor? I have all the company I need. He knows not the truth. He sends another to ask more incessant questions.
He sent both of us to ask more incessant questions, actually.
The Great Serpent waits in the shadows. He will entwine the universe, and all but the faithful will be made as dust. That is the truth. No more, no less.
You don't need to tell us. We just figured it would be better to ask you directly than to take a second-hand account of your words.
Yes, I have spoken to your keeper about this. I will tell you what I told him, and then you will leave me. Jinan Varun meets the unbeliever. He gives false prophecy to Jinan. But such is Jinan's conviction in the Great Serpent, he does not hesitate. He cuts the unbeliever down. But the unbeliever returns. Jinan realizes the Great Serpent is testing him, and he will not be found wanting. 4 times they fight. Over 120 rotations of the planet they are on. Remember these 4 battles, Jinan, the unbeliever says. Remember these 120 rotations. But Jinan knows this is blasphemy, and delivers the killing blow. That is all. I have heard of no such thing. If it exists, it is a shadow that the Great Serpent casts to deceive the faithless. Strength and conviction show your worthiness to the Great Serpent. The kill is not as important as showing there is no doubt. I grow tired of speaking. Leave me.
Got a moment? Let's catch up.
Saw your ship come in. Nice ride.
Listen, you risked your life to save. I keep wondering if that made it harder to save Sam too. I've replayed those moments in my mind over and over. And you need to know that you did what a leader does. And if it had been me instead of him, I would feel at peace knowing that he made it. I appreciate the humor, but I know better than anybody that it's just a mask. I don't know if you're ready to talk, or if you need 20 years to get to that point, or if you never want to talk about it again. But I just want you to know that if you do, I'm here for you. I don't know that I mean to say that, actually. But if it makes you feel better, then consider it said. Of course. Could have been so much worse. We are all constellation. When a star goes nova, it can destroy everything nearby, or it can nourish a new era of planets and life and everything that goes with it. The galaxy is littered with the deaths of so many brilliant, wonderful stars. But if stars never went nova, then we wouldn't be who we are now. Still doesn't make it easier for anybody, even you. But you did what you had to do. We all know that. Sam was my buddy. He was practical and goofy and a genuinely decent man. He would never want you to feel like this rotten situation was your fault. I promise you that. We all have the same wish, But wishes are just that. All we can do is decide how to move forward and use our time wisely. You know, we're fortunate. Constellation brought us all together and we're all better for it. If we're going to set things right, it's going to be because of that.
Senior Rapship, you keep your gangster history out of my jurisdiction. Got it?
Oh yeah, that's UC Security. They're busier than normal these days, it seems.
Wow, you look completely different. I feel...
Aquilus has seen...
One day House Varun just up and abandoned their embassy.
Oh, you're back. What did you learn? Was there something hidden in their stories, like we thought? Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. What else did you learn? If there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, those do sound awfully like coordinates. Was there anything else? Yes. What he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his resting place, we'd need to know the name of the star system, wouldn't we? Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Something that could point to a planet in the system. But what's the name of the system? Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No systems named finite or add. That just leaves in and dumb. Well, that's certainly how I feel. Yes, that's it. The second planet in Indum, at 4 and 120. That's where you'll find the Pilgrim's resting place. And from there, maybe you'll find the true meaning of unity. Before you go, you've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, you'll be carrying their philosophies with you on this journey. I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if you had to guess what it was, what interpretation would you give it? Conviction, another word for strength. Can the truth not be revealed to the weak? Someone with doubts. Your only path is forward, then? Finding the meaning of unity is a totality that you cannot ever step away from?
There's some value to doubt if it reminds you to double-check yourself. But once it becomes debilitating, it's no longer an asset.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. This has been fun, I have to admit. Go, find your truth.